The world around us is changing faster than ever before. Opportunities and challenges in education in Southeast Asia can be addressed if all stakeholders come together to share and coordinate its policies and priorities. In the next 10 minutes, I will share the unmet learning needs as we see it and Wiley's priority for education in Asia. I hope it will set the tone or speak to the central theme of this summit. But what are the unmet needs which we are trying to solve? A research study from Georgetown University concluded a child's likelihood of achieving early career success depends more on his or her family's wealth and social status than on talent. The World Inequality Report 2018 showed that income and wealth inequality has increased in nearly all world regions in recent decades, even before the pandemic. Now, OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, reported that its estimated 1.6 billion students around the world were locked out of school as a result of the pandemic. 1/4 billion students in Southeast Asia are affected. While some of them were able to find alternative learning opportunities, many remain shut out, especially those from the most marginalized groups who did not have access to digital learning resources. Inequality is now being pushed to new extremes. We all know that the pandemic is also accelerating the structural shift that already existed before COVID-19. One key shift which is relevant to us is the digital acceleration, leading to widening skills gaps from rapid technological change and short innovation cycles. The World Economic Forum estimated in its 2020 Future of Jobs report that by 2025, 85 million jobs will be displaced, while 97 million new roles may emerge. Think about it for a moment. My name is Chor Meng. I work for Wiley and serve as a board member at the Copyright and Licensing Administration Society of Singapore and Forbes Council. My areas of expertise are in higher education and employment. So who is Wiley? Wiley is a leading global research and education company. As an American company, we are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. For over 200 years, we have been helping people and organizations develop the skills and knowledge they need to succeed. This mission continues. Who do we serve then? What do we do? Our primary customers and users are researchers, learners, institutions, and corporations. This slide provides a summary of what we do. We believe in partnership as the enormous unmet needs of our stakeholders cannot be fulfilled without working with others. Through our research and education businesses, we have developed and offer an unmatched global network with researchers and research institutions, scientific societies and society members, universities, students, and companies and professionals. These slides now give you a thumbnail sketch about our portfolio of leading brands and partners. Now, after outlining the unmet learning needs and introducing Wiley, what's our priority and education agenda? Here, I'm speaking as a business which embraces the needs of all our stakeholders and sharing our agenda to seek collaboration. What are our priority areas? First, provide inclusive and comprehensive support. Most of the underlying causes to the challenges young or adult learners face are personal. For example, a young student born out of poverty may be asked to leave or skip school and work so that he or she can supplement his family income. In our partnership with universities, our advisors contact these students to identify and support their challenges. Second, identify those who are left behind. Not much data has been collected or reported on those who are left behind. UNESCO's 2020 Global Education Monitoring Report found that 41% of countries, representing 13% of the global population, have not had household survey to provide disaggregated data on key education indicators. This makes it challenging to target support to those most in need of help. Effective intervention strategy depends on data on inclusion. We are keen to be involved in research projects to identify those who are left behind or at risk of being left behind and highlight gaps in educational opportunities among learner groups. Strengthen the bridge between demand and supply of education. Most people seek education to provide a livelihood for their family. By bringing stakeholders together and align the development of curriculum to industry needs, we can better connect education to employment. Wiley, as a co-chair of the Global Digital Skills Gap Forum, created a global advisory group consisting of business, government, and academic leaders to jointly develop a set of competencies. This recommendation serves as a resource to fill the gap between skills and employer demand. Next, define equity in education through representative engagement. Equity has different meanings. We participate in various engagement and through research projects to define inequity. This summit is an example of our engagement. Fifth, ensure interoperability and porosity across education pathways. As learning becomes more ubiquitous and skills become the primary currency in the job market, the government and learning institutions should engender greater recognition of prior learning. The government and learning institutions can work together to identify and enable suitable means of accessing relevant skills and knowledge attained in one framework for the purpose of satisfying prerequisites for further education in other qualifications. We may be able to help with our assessment capabilities and global network. Finally, promote equity and transparent hiring process. Education seeks to educate our people and prepare them for jobs. But jobs are demand-driven, and unless the hiring process by employers are fair and transparent, inequity will remain. For our part, Wiley is committed as an equal opportunity employer. To improve equity in education, we have developed inclusive access model for universities to assess our resources. This model has led to improvement in access, engagement, and learning outcomes. I will share two examples today. Written by my colleague Elena, this paper combined survey data from two universities to investigate if there is a significant difference between users and non-user groups of Wiley inclusive access model in terms of their perceived improvement in teaching effectiveness by the instructors and learning outcomes by students. Robust results for longer time span, 2017 to 2020, indicate a stable pattern that Wiley model has a positive effect on perceived learning and teaching environment. The next project commenced in June 2020 with Universitas Ahmad Yogyakarta and in consultation with Professor Chor and Ms. Jess Tan from the Singapore University of Social Sciences. The project goal was to determine the determinants of academic performance for learners. That is what improved course grades. The determinants considered include Wiley's online engagement metrics, students' background, like demographics, and university variables, like course grades and instructors. Results show that for some segments of students, girls in industry engineering. Assessing Wiley's digital resources was significantly related to better grades. What is more interesting is that program, gender, province, and age emerge as additional significant determinants of students' academic performance. What does it all mean to you? To support our priority and education agenda, we continue to seek partnership and research in these topics. A general goal for future study is to ensure higher statistical power and enable broader applications. This requires more studies, and we're looking for collaborators. We believe we will continue to improve equity in education. Now, as a business with over 200 years of history, Wiley continues to seek long-term value creation by taking into account the needs of our stakeholders. This is the essence of Carl Schwab, Stakeholders Capitalism, and it is published by Wiley. The authors argued that the well-being of people and planet are at the center of business. The four remaining groups of stakeholders contribute to our betterment. As all of these groups are interconnected, one cannot succeed if the others fail. This model is simple, but it immediately reveals why exclusive objectives of profit or prosperity in a particular company or country will lead to suboptimal outcomes. By contrast, in the stakeholder model, the interconnectivity and the overarching well-being of people and planet are central, ensuring a more harmonious outcome over time. Now, I have shared Wiley's priority and education agenda, why it matters, what we have done, and what we want to do about it. Thank you, Dr. Attell and SEAMEO, for having me today. Feel free to follow and connect with me. Have a fantastic summit and workshop ahead.